some previous episodes we've talked about purchasing tips, some care and maintenance and storage, the basic components of the guitar, and a few basic hand positions and how to hold the guitar properly and stuff like that. We've done string changes, and hopefully up to this point, you know, people have got a guitar and, you know, they're familiar with how to hold it and make some sounds on it there and stuff. So today we're going to kind of, you know, jump ahead, have a little bit of fun, and show you how much fun you can have with just one finger, and yeah, like this. Stick around and we'll be right back. And for those people interested in this beautiful guitar, this baby's just not incredible. It is a DBZ Hailfire, is what they call it, but it's a Firebird, as you can see. It's like a Gibson Firebird, the same shape, right? It's got a very SG type of neck to it. Seymour Duncan JB59 pickups to it. There's coil taps as well with the front pickup. It's probably my brightest guitar as far as the pickups go. It really pops this thing, and I love playing it. It hasn't had any intonation done yet this season. We've just got into the humidity season there now, and it could use some new strings, but it's still rocks, man. So let's jump into the gear review, and I'll show you what I got going on over there. All right, stick around. Isn't this thing just beautiful? It's called Spalted Maple, the top on this guitar. I mean, every one is different, you know, because they do that matchbook kind of thing there, right? And doesn't this look like the head of an elephant to you? Like, you know, like his trunk and his ears there and stuff, right? I don't know, that's what it looks like to me. So we're gonna do some reviews of these mini amps. You know, I'm saving this stuff for good days, right? Most of these little toy looking things are novelty lighters, right? The old lightsaber. Oh, there's Darth Vader. The other one's blue. It looks pink in that light, but it's actually red. This is not showing up too good because it's daylight out, guys, but you know, you've seen this ball in the background a few times. I've had this since 1987. It's like so cool. It still works awesome. So it not only reacts to sound, and it's got tons of adjustability to it, but it reacts to when you touch it, right? Some of the little guy does the same thing there too. So anyway, equipment, you know, I'm bragging away here, right? So I've got what you're hearing now coming through my sound system, right? Which consists of this Mackie board, right? And see, I'm not even using, this has got 12 channels, I'm not even using all of them. And this sound is coming from my Electro Voice CLX 12P. So these are powered speakers, so there's no power coming from the board, just a signal. And these things are awesome. They can be, there's tons of adjustment on these speakers just alone, right? I've just kind of turned this one around so you could see the back, right? Yamaha piano. The Black Star HD5, and it's a Randall cabinet that I have here. Oops, sorry, the lighting's a bit dark over here. Moving around too much. That's a Fender amp, vaporizer. And of course the Mac Daddy. Can't forget the Mac Daddy. So, anyway, probably getting bored of hearing that, aren't you? Oh, thank God, you shut it off. Okay, so it's a little bit dark over here, sorry, but we'll do our best. So, I know this looks complicated, and but it's pretty simple. And of course, you don't need all this stuff to start playing the guitar, right? But I just wanted to show you, you know, what a few little toys can do with one finger, as we've seen, right? So how I made those tracks is with this thing, the Trio. And so I played a little 3-chord thing into it, and I'll show you that in a minute, like exactly what it was, right? But this is the result that came out of it. Okay, so just a second and I'll show you how I did that. Okay, this is really simple. I'm just going to play 3 notes and this thing is going to auto-detect it. So it took those 3 notes, and you see my timing was pretty good on it, right? And it's created a backtrack for me to play along to. That's easy. It's that easy. This thing here is just a looper, and that's a recording device, right? So this thing doesn't have any capture ability. They have another model that has a looper built into it, but if you're interested in this, I highly suggest you not get that model. You get a separate looper because you can just do more things with it, right? This has a huge memory store ability to it and a SD card expansion and all kinds of stuff. So with the kind of twist of a few buttons here, you can do like so much. There's actually would be about 512 different variations of what I just played into this with changing all these buttons. So I could also just take the drums right out of it and just have bass. Vice versa, you know. I can change the timing, of course. Was really rocking. The most effective thing though is these 2 top buttons, which change what's called the genre, right? So it's in rock, maybe right now, right? Alt rock. So you can see it's changed it up. Pop. That blues there. And this one's one of my favorite there, the rhythm and blues. And then so this other one changes it dramatically too. So these tracks also change every 4 beats, 4 or 8 beats. So they, and then every time you start and stop this button, it'll be on a different beat too of its cycle. So it's almost endless, these possibilities of these tracks. And then I usually record, you know, 8 or 16 bars or something of the track into this thing here, and then it loops it back and forth and gives me a backtrack to play along with. And the sound quality is amazing, especially when you come through a mixing board. There's another output on here that's optimized to come out of a guitar amp, but it's still, you know, the guitar amp is just for guitar, right? Really, it's not supposed to make the bass and all the different range of sounds that bass and drums have to them, right? So here's a couple of others. It really changes it up. So this thing was, I don't know, $250-ish, and so was the looper. They might be, you know, more 300, let's say, with taps and all that kind of stuff, right? So let's stop the trio, right? So here's another track that's I've already done previously that's in the looper already, right? So you can see how I made that, right, and it's stored in here, right? This thing has 200 positions in it just alone, and then like I said, you can expand it, right? And this thing just goes up and down, change my different tracks on it, right? And there's a couple different modes. I can also hook this foot switch up to this thing to make it to change some of those functions that I just showed you with my hand from my foot. And then this just puts on the second channel onto this amp, which is what we call the dirty channel, or with some overdrive, right? It's just coming out of the board right now and it's on clean. And this guitar has a beautiful clean sound too. So I hope everybody learned something today, and let's close it out with another little one finger blues. What do you say? Stick around, be right back. thanks for joining me today, folks. We had some fun. Learned a few things about the guitar. Obviously, you don't need some of this fancy stuff to get going and play, but just wanted to show you what can be accomplished with one finger. Of course, I want you to use all your fingers. You know, you can do that scale that I taught you in the other show. Every finger, every fret, every note, all the way up and down the board. Once you can do it in single picking or the double picking, right? And triple picking. You get to that stage, you'll be a rock star, man. I'm telling you, right? But until then, you can have fun with one finger. Thank you again, all my loyal supporters, all the new supporters. Love and peace from Canada. We are YouTube.